Did you know that you can easily create a reverse image of a stencil? Or what about layering stencils for a bold new look? Today I'm going to share with you how that can be done. Welcome back to another Take Two with Therese at Altenew, and I've got two beautiful bright cards to share with you, and I'm using the Majestic Mountains stencil set. This is a layering stencil set, and the first technique I want to share with you is how to create a reverse stencil image. It's very simple. I have some masking paper. This is from Altenew as well. And this is basically just an A4 sheet of low-tack paper. And I always put it on the wrong way. You actually want to add your image to the white side of the paper. So this particular stencil set has the full image of the mountain as the base layer. And when I say reverse the image, what I actually want to do is create a negative mask or another mask of the mask, because I want to be able to add color behind the mountain without it blending into the mountain. Some stencil sets actually come with the negative portion of the cutout pieces that are part of the stencil set, but this one didn't, so this was my workaround. And this is probably the fastest and easiest way to do this. I used a pencil to actually just trace the outline of the stencil, and then I'm using some scissors to cut away the actual shape. So imagine the possibilities. You can actually do this with so many of your stencils. That way you can actually create a blended background. And the great thing about this technique is you can keep these masks and reuse them. So I know it does seem like a bit of a pain, fussy cutting. Not many of us like it. I actually don't mind it. I've got an A2 piece of 80-pound Neenah cardstock here, and I'm blending out the 4 layers of the stencil. I'm mixing up the base color using some pink diamond on the base, and I love these large blending brushes. Can I just tell you, they have been a game changer for me, these Altenew blending brushes. The ink just goes on like a dream. I'm using my sticky grid mat to hold the stencils in place, and this has also been something that's made life so much easier. But other than the pink base color, I've used the oranges for the rest of the mountain and kept it really bold and bright. But basically I created my mountain using the golden sunset colors. The color goes on really quickly with the large blending brushes, and I have found though, if you do want to get some really intense color, then the mini blending tools will add even more color. And this is where I want to use my reverse stencil mask. I actually am going to de-tack the masking paper. I know it's already low tack, but I haven't used it before, and I don't want to take the chance of pulling away the ink from the paper. So I just did that on my skin, or you can do it on your clothing as well. Now I have started using the mini ink blending brushes a lot more lately. I find that I can get some real intense coverage even in the lighter shades. So that's why I flipped across to this color here. I do like the sky with that bit of white in it. And in retrospect, maybe I might have just left it like that, but I actually wanted to cover the whole piece of cardstock and not have any white showing for this design. I added the blended colors to the base and then a little bit of extra blue to the sky, and then came in with just a little bit of the pink as well to add a different color throughout the sky, like it's almost an early sunrise or sunset. But you can use whatever colors you like. This mountain truly looks majestic in so many different color combinations. In both of today's cards, I'm going to be using different combinations of color for the red crown cranes. There's 2 birds in this die set, and I will list all the colors that I've used today in the description at the blog, which will be linked below. Let me know in the comments below if you like to change up the combinations of colours, or are you one of those people who has to create things in the colour that they're intended? Because I'm sure these red crowned cranes aren't normally grey and black. And I'm using the new grid plate here from Altenew to make sure my sentiment is lined up nice and straight. And I don't know, I decided to make this a sympathy card. I know it's bright, but I still liked the way it looked. I kept going back to this sentiment. It just felt right with this design. But obviously you can make this for any occasion that you like. I did cut my sentiment strip in half just to make it more versatile. I can always put it back together if I need to. I added this to a card front, popped up my bird, and there's my reverse stencil technique number 1. All right, for my second technique, I'm going to be doing layering stencils. Now, I'm not talking about actually layering stencils, although we are doing that with the mountains. What I actually mean is layering stencils to get a totally different look. So I have the circle frame from Altenew, and I've laid that on my A2 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to leave that in place for the whole of my blending session here, because I want my final result to be only blended within that circle. This time I'm going to be using all the pinks to create my mountain, and this set is the Cherry Blossom set. That's really bright, fun colours here. I'm using my reverse mask yet again, and this time I'm only going to blend the sky, but I've kept that circle in place, so that's going to actually contain the ink. And then when we do the big reveal, so we're double masking here, double layering of the stencils, and it works. The sticky grid mat has made life very easy, I have to say. I use it so much more than I thought I ever would. I've got one of the red crowned cranes again, and yes, it's not red, but it's pink and it's glittery. And I've added a fancy Enjoy sentiment, which I have layered up a couple of times, and it's got some black cardstock on top. I add that with liquid glue. I find that's a much easier way to layer the really fine die cuts like this, and also to make sure that it gets a nice hold on the card. But you can use whatever glue suits. A double-sided adhesive sheet would work, and you could just die cut it out when you do the cutting of the actual sentiment. And here's the two cards together now, starting with my double-layered stencil. And then my first card, which was the sympathy card, which I shared how to create a reverse of your stencil so that you can blend outside the stencil very easily with a nice crisp edge. Let me know in the comments below which card's your favourite today. I'm so glad you joined me. I've got a couple more videos here for you to enjoy. I look forward to seeing you there. If you did like today's video, please click on the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. What are you waiting for? I look forward to seeing you here real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.